So Jay and I are responsible for the bulk of teaching the trainees how to teach the yoga postures. And I've always been so drawn to your work, Jay, your book, Teaching People Not Poses, especially, which I think is awesome.
Thank you.
And we're really interested in this training and finding a way to really have our trainees value the importance of proper alignment and understanding the postures and the mechanics and the anatomy, but not confusing the boat for the shore, so to speak, to understand that really good alignment, understanding anatomy is the tool, but really our goal is to get people to be in their bodies. Mm-hmm. So just even that phrase, teaching people not poses, I feel like your philosophy really is a reflection of that idea that yoga is about helping people become resilient and become more embodied and more in themselves. And it's not about becoming obsessed with perfect alignment, but we're using the alignment to get people present in their bodies in a particular way. And I love that about you.
Absolutely, and I think that's where we're complementary.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about how to cue a posture, like you're saying, from point 1, point 2, point 3, which we do, because that's important, but we're also talking about how to cue it from your own experience, because that's what makes it juicier for people.
And that's what I love, that the way that you and we are encouraging people to be in the pose and be tracking their own bodies and teach from that knowledge, and also understand that other people might be having a different experience. So that balance of really understanding our own practice, but not projecting it onto our students.
Right, which is I think why it was so helpful to have 27 people this last year, is because then you get to hear, well, what was your experience in that pose? Because mine was this, and oh, yours was that, and yours was, well, that's interesting. And the more that we get to have the feedback of each other's personal experience, the better we can speak to what an experience would be as a whole for a class.
Yeah, and this is so different from how I was trained, and I was trained very strict alignment and really specific ways of doing the pose. And I know I did yoga for years without actually feeling my body, because I was just trying to get the pose exactly right. And I got so much praise from teachers. I was the girl in the front, they wanted me to demo, but I wasn't in my body, and I wasn't regulated, and I was super anxious, and I had all these issues. Not that I don't have any issues right now, but they're better. But this idea that who I was being was more important than the posture, without bypassing the importance of alignment, because it's really easy to bypass that and have kind of like a flaky training or a flaky practice. It's really fun to get to ride that balance and do that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.